Let's see Ryan's video on Nasrallah, because he did a video on it. I feel like I tend to disagree with at least one part of every Ryan McBeth video, so we'll see if we have this one.
How was the Nasrallah attack justified under international law? On Friday, September 27th, 2024, Israeli Air Force F-15Is from the 69th Squadron, or Hammers, struck Beirut's Dahia neighborhood. And their target was an underground Hezbollah command and control bunker. 6 other buildings were also struck in subsequent attacks, including depots where other weapons and equipment were hidden. The weapons were most likely GBU-31s, which is a precision-guided 2,000-pound bomb, essentially bunker busters. Reportedly, 83 tons of bombs were used, but this sounds like a bigger number than it actually is, because that works out to maybe 41, 42 munitions of the 2,000-pound range, although most likely different munitions were of differing power. Casualties included Hassan Nasrallah, the Secretary General of Hezbollah, along with approximately 100 or so other senior leaders, and perhaps up to 200 or so civilian casualties.
He said 100 leaders as well. Where does he get that from? Where does he source that? Where are the 100? I haven't seen that. I saw an article saying 20. Does he have the... I think his Substack has all the sources, right? Is what he says? LOAC? Does he mean all the strikes? Surely not. He said 200 civilian casualties because that would be Israel's number, right? 300 total, minus 100. But where did he get... I heard Israel say 300, and I heard Israel also say 20 Hezbollah people killed in that strike, but not... I didn't hear anything about 100. Where did he get that from? Does anyone ask him about it? Why am I bothering? People who are fans of YouTubers are glazers. They'd never ask. These people don't read anything. Fuck it. All right, I'm just going to keep watching. We're kind of already on a bit of a premise, but we'll see.
The command center was situated under a residential building. Of course, the memes started a few minutes later. And if you follow me, you'll notice that I didn't participate in that. I'm the guy that finds the people to target.
Okay.
I write software. I write software that finds people. I develop a pattern of life. I know where they work. I know where they sleep. I know their driver's cell phone. I know they get chauffeured around in a white SUV.
I need premium to DM him on Twitter. Oh no.
The dent on the right rear quarter panel. And then I give all that information to my client, and they take it from there. Now, I don't do the legal part. Lawyers do that. I also don't do the weaponeering, where you decide which weapon to use. That's a whole different job. But when I'm told that the strike was successful, I don't laugh about it. I don't joke about it. I don't post memes about it. I go home, I crack open a beer, I order a pizza, and I watch the Washington Wizards. And the next day I go into work and I find the next target. After the attacks, the chair in computational biology systems at the University of College London, a man named Professor Francois Ballou, said something on X, formerly known as Twitter, that just kind of rubbed me wrong. He said, whether the IDF suspected that Nasrallah was in this block of flats that got flattened or just made up a story, it is largely irrelevant. This is a war crime either way. So I took a look at Professor Ballou. He didn't seem to have any legal or military experience. He's just an academic. And at this, I pointed this out and he blocked me, which, that's cute. I'm Ryan McBeth, bub. I use the Twitter API, and I also use Cyabra for social media threat detection. So one funny thing to note, the good professor actually reposted a reply to a tweet from a person who, I guess, supposedly sent out some inaccurate COVID information saying, if it's not your expertise, consult experts and do not make your conclusions and provide context. Well, Professor, I'm the guy that provides context. Class is now in session. Now, there's generally 4 types of valid targets. There are combatants. These are enemy soldiers and fighters who are directly participating in hostilities. There's military infrastructure, which are facilities, installations, equipment that can be used for military purposes, such as barracks, air bases, naval ships, weapons factories, and command centers. And we have supply lines and logistics, bridges, railways, other infrastructure directly supporting military operations. And we have weapons and ammunition. That's kind of a given. Stockpiles, weapon systems, logistical support facilities. Now note that there are some things that are never valid targets, unless there are some very specific exceptions. To start, civilians and civilian infrastructure. They are generally protected unless civilians are directly involved in hostilities. The law of armed conflict does not preclude militaries from firing into civilian locations if it can be proven that the adversary is using civilians for cover. And that was certainly the case here. Remember, Nasrallah was in a bunker underneath a residential building. Another item are medical personnel facilities. So we're talking hospitals, medical personnel vehicles that are clearly marked as medical vehicles are protected unless they are being used to commit acts that are harmful to the enemy. Third item is cultural, religious, and historic sites. So we're talking about sites of significant cultural or religious importance. Those are typically protected under international law. So we're talking about the Taj Mahal, the Eiffel Tower, those sort of monuments. And finally, surrendering combatants and prisoners of war, they are protected as well. Once someone has surrendered or they're no longer able to fight or decombat, they cannot be targeted. Now, note that or decombat means out of action due to illness or injury. Just being wounded does not mean that you're hors combat. You can still attack a wounded soldier. So now that we have the absolute baseline, let's take a look at this actual bunker and how we would approach this. So you've got a top-level Hezbollah commander and 100 of his main dudes who is deep underground and meeting with other commanders. And meanwhile, roughly 90,000 Israelis have been internally displaced because Hezbollah has fired over 8,000 rockets into northern Israel since...
Where does that 100 number come from? Does anyone know what he's talking about? Does anyone know where the 100 number comes from? I can't find it. I can't find it anywhere. Shit. Doesn't he mean lower officers? He probably mixed it up because I think the last article I can see from Israeli sources in the 29th or 30th of September is saying 20. And the Lebanese health authorities, I don't think, have changed the number of dead from 11. So someone's speaking a lot of shit. The information is incomplete until further notice. That's where we are.
October 7th, 2023. Could taking out this commander and 100 of his dudes become a shaping operation? Meaning, could this set the IDF up for a future attack, which would reduce the number of rockets?
Maybe he's revealing information he's not supposed to. Ho 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 ho.
That are falling onto northern Israel.
He speaks Arabic. Maybe he checked Lebanese sources. That's not true either. But, well, he might speak Arabic, but it's not true that you get from Lebanese sources because Hezbollah have not been counting their dead ever since the, I guess, shock and awe bombings, right? The fucking 500 dead day. Since those big airstrikes, Hezbollah have not been updating with regular casualties. And if they don't know, and if they're not saying, then no one knows. Dude has I was in Iraq Arabic. Aha. Assalamu alaikum. Like fucking Brad Pitt in Inglourious Bastards. Keith Halleck. Hey, BB. Gorlami.
If the answer to that is yes, now the question changes to, are we going to get another chance at this? If the target is in a populated area, are there other options? Can we take this target out in a different place? Now, ideally, after you develop a pattern of life, you want to try to hit the bad guy in a way that minimizes civilian casualties. For example, if you can take out the bad guy when he's meeting at a secluded farmhouse with other bad guys, that's ideal. That's what you want to do. But you might be able to take him out while they're driving, but preferably you wait for an area of low traffic. Like if he is leaving the farmhouse, maybe you hit him while he's on the driveway of the farmhouse before he...
So they're occasionally taking responsibility or claiming, but these are who are these people? Where is al-Bashura? General Director of Civil Defense and Islamic Health Authority announced the martyrdom of a group of its leaders and paramedics who were killed in the direct Zionist aggression on its center. It's called Balat. Civil Defense Officer, Assistant Civil Defense Officer, Equipment Officer, Mechanisms and Maintenance Officer, rescue officer, volunteer paramedic. Oh shit. Who are these people? What the fuck is this? They've also claimed 18 dead Israelis. Oh, in the whole conflict since October 7th. Ah.
It actually gets out into traffic. And this is kind of where the weaponeering comes into play. You tailor the weapon system to the threat. If there's a single car on the road, maybe you use a Hellfire missile. If there's a meeting in that farmhouse, maybe you use a 1,000-pound bomb. If there's a meeting in an underground bunker, well, now you got to get messy because you got to penetrate all of that earth and concrete to get to the bunker. Now, again, weaponeering isn't my job. It's more complex than what I just described, but those are the basics. Now, I also want to bring in the principle of NCV, or non-combatant cutoff value. People like to claim that one civilian life negates any action at all, but that's just not true.
Okay.
NCV is the number of civilians that you are legally allowed as collateral damage in order to strike the target.
I don't think that's true either. I don't think you legally need to have an NCV. There's like an agreed standard. It's just different countries use them willingly. Okay.
Yes, this exists.
Yes.
99% of the time, the NCV is 0. You can't hit anyone who isn't a bad
Unless
guy.
it's a higher value target.
But if you have an NCV of 5, and there's 4 civilians around the bad guy, and you're not going to get another chance at this, and then you go home, crack open a beer, order a pizza, and watch the Washington Wizards. Now, if the NCV is 5, and there's actually 6 dudes there and 6 civilians, then you have to call your higher command, and they will either approve or disapprove the strike, and 99% of the time, they disapprove the strike. Lawyers are part of this process every single step of the way. And what lawyers are looking for are 2 things: military necessity and proportionality. Now, military necessity permits attacks on military objectives that are essential for achieving a legitimate military advantage. A high-value target typically qualifies as a military objective if its destruction, its capture, or neutralization offers a concrete and direct military advantage. However, the use of force must be limited to what is necessary to achieve that advantage. Unnecessary or excessive force that does not contribute to the military goal is prohibited. Now, it's hard to argue that Hassan Nasrallah, being the Secretary freaking General of Hezbollah, was not a high-value target.
Yep.
So, next we have to talk about proportionality. And this is where most civilians actually get things wrong. When people think of proportionality, they think, oh, if the bad guy is a knife, you have to use a knife. It's proportional. If you use a gun, it's no longer proportional. That is the wrong way to think about the problem. Proportionality means that the attack must not result in excessive civilian harm compared to the anticipated military advantage. For example, if the expected civilian casualties are high related to the military value of the target, the attack might be considered unlawful. And I'll give you an example. Let's say you got one Hezbollah fighter standing in a marketplace with a whole bunch of civilians, and he's just a regular dude. He's just regular Hezbollah fighter, not in the chain of command. Would I drop a 2,000-pound bomb on that guy? Probably not. I'm not going to wipe out an entire freaking marketplace just to get at some low-level dude. But would I drop a 2,000-pound bomb on a bunch of Taliban who are standing around preparing to attack a base and there's no civilians around? Yeah, probably. If that's all I had available in the air at the time. And note that, at least during the global war on terror, aircraft might have different loadouts, so you might try to tailor the ordnance to the threat. But if time is of the essence and there's no civilians around, shoot, drop what you got, right? So this gets us back to the main question. Was this attack a war crime? The answer is no. And the reason is that the nature of the target outweighed the possible civilian loss of life. And if that makes you angry, I want you to understand something. The GBU in GBU 31 means guided bomb unit. These are bombs that are guided by GPS. The JDAM, or Joint Direct Attack Munition, of which the GBU 31 is a part of the family, has a circular error probability of less than 1.7 meters. For comparison, I'm 5'9", about 1.75 meters tall.
It's not that tall.
The Israelis made every effort to minimize casualties when it came to hitting the exact target they were aiming at, but they had to use a bigger weapon to penetrate all those layers of concrete. However, the rockets that Hezbollah fires into Israel, the Katyushas, the Fahir variants, they're unguided. They're what I call inshallah guidance. Inshallah, it hits the military target.
Where's the report that the Israelis said they killed 300 people? Does anyone know where that is? I don't actually know when they hit the Nasrallah building. They said that 300 people died, estimate. That quote went around quite a few places, but I don't think I ever saw. I'd be so curious as to why the IDF have that number, but the Lebanese health authorities don't. Casualties? Okay. Wasn't it that they assessed? Yeah. It was said that the complexes could house 300 people. What, in 6 buildings? Maybe. So I just need the article, because it sounds like he's drawing the 300 number from that, right? Resistance fires can only be targeted in the moment they are firing. Once they disengage, they can no longer be targeted legally. That's just false, OG 09er. Like, you're just inventing laws to not so subtly defend the resistance. That's just false. Sorry. The moment they're firing. What a fucking moron. Fire rockets. Okay, go back, buy a sandwich. Eat sandwich. Fire rockets. Wait, got my sandwich. What are you talking about? Yeah, the Substack doesn't have a source. IDF estimate. 300 Nasrallah. Why can't I find it anywhere now? Oh, here we go. Turn-based combat. Banger. This is initial estimates on the ground. Is it just Haaretz that said it? Maybe this is why it's fucking bullshit. Let's see. Okay, I'm just making my little email to Ryan. I want to have all my sources available. Why do they say 300? No, yeah, according to estimates by Israeli defense officials, 300 people were killed. Some victims in nearby buildings. So it's not that they anticipated this many would die. It's that they thought this many people did die. So now, apparently, the most recent update is 33 fatalities. Okay. This is Israeli strikes. This isn't... So Wikipedia's wrong as well. This is from Israeli strikes. But there was more than... There wasn't only one strike. In the same day, there was more than one strike. They struck the 3 buildings with depots in them. So this is bullshit as well. Fuck this fucking wiki. Unless they're talking about multiple buildings. No, the wiki's just wrong. They're talking... This is specifically about the headquarters. Bunker busters. This is... So they're wrong about this as well, because this is the sum total of strikes, not... This is from the whole day, so wiki's wrong as well. Okay. Wow. We have to find out where there's a war crime, bro. What are you doing? Where's the Lebanese health ministry? This is from the day as well, I imagine. Unless this is specifically from the strike. Fog of war, eh? So it seems we have an initial claim of 300 killed. The IDF saying they killed Nasrallah and around 20. The other militants, Hezbollah figures, and the health authorities saying only 11 died. I tried looking on your Substack to the 100 claim, but couldn't find it. Would you be able to tell me? I'd also be curious if 300 dead civilians would change your opinion on whether or not this strike proportionate. Okay, sent. Let's go.
Sometimes it hits a bunch of Drew's kids playing soccer. Inshallah.
True.
So, Professor, you might be hanging out with the wrong friends. You know, I fight disinformation for a living, and I'm like coffee in the Green Mile.
I'm tired, boss.
I'm tired. I'm tired of these ivory tower professors who never served in the military and don't know a darn thing about the military putting out misinformation about military operations. So if you could just kind of stop spreading misinformation,
Mr. Scientist,
that would be great. And just as a notice to everybody else out there who wants to spread misinformation, especially when it comes to those who worship at the altar of destruction, I find people, and I'll find you. Special thanks to Cyabra for allowing me to use their social media threat detection software. And thank you so much for watching.
Oh, wow, Daddy, cigarettes. If I smoke these, I'll be cool. Hey, kid, what are you doing? Think tank. You know, kid, smoking is...
Slam, bitch. I'm sorry. He should have ended it with that. He might find 100 Hezbollah leaders in your basement if you skip his news ad again. Haha, good one. Oh, no. Not. I can't believe there's a Hassan clip to look at. Are you serious? No way. Never happen. Who is he dunking on? Some professor. Some random professor on Twitter. Not a 15-second Hassan clip. There's no heckin' way. My village. Okay.
Actually accelerating its own demise.
Why is
It's
it calling so
NC.
shit?
My village, which has already been bombed, is in South Lebanon, and it leaves me in awe that while my family is displaced, they're advertising our land. Yeah, it's really fucked up that Frogan is being anti-Semitic again.
I speak a lot.
Actually accelerating its own demise.
Wait. This isn't the Israeli government. The Israeli government is not selling fucking houses in South Lebanon. Wait, hang on. What is she talking about? Is this just like some random fucking settler psycho org that's like pretending that they're going to move into Lebanon anytime soon? What? What is this tweet? My village. Government doesn't sell houses. As in, like, the government's not going to allow anyone, any fucking Israeli property developer to fucking set up real estate in South Lebanon. What is this? What are we looking at here? Where's the tweet? I'm fucking blocked. I can't. The Hebrew just says house in Lebanon. There wouldn't be any Hebrew speakers kicking about in Lebanon. In 5 years, maybe? Okay. Yeah, and I imagine in 82 people said that as well. And then in 2006, people probably said that as well. So I don't think this is kosher as per 1701. I imagine it's just some nutter settler group that just made it on fucking Facebook. My village, which has already been bombed, is in South Lebanon, and it leaves me in awe that while my family is displaced, they're advertising our land. Yeah, so what? She's got like a Shia family in South Lebanon. That's believable? Okay. But she's assuming that this is like an official Israeli thing and not just some group of nutters. Where's the pic from? The Jerusalem Post mentioned at 25th, Lebanon being Israeli land. I feel like you guys want it to happen. It's so weird. Like, I don't know if you just want it to happen or like you'll just kind of like delude yourselves into thinking it's real because it serves the propaganda of the time to make it look like Israel's operations against Hezbollah are illegitimate. I don't know. Very fucking bizarre. Let's hope it's not real. It's not real. Stop. I guarantee you guys, like if you had Twitter in 2006, you'd all be saying, yeah, they're ready to settle. That's what they're going to do. They're going to settle. Check the link at the bottom. Is there a link? Hang on. I'm just reverse image searching. Oh, it's here. This came up right away. Wait. Is this even Hebrew? This is the picture. When's this from? What's this? This ain't Hebrew. Where did it go? What's going on? That ain't no Hebrew, bub. That's Chinese. Oh, Israeli. It's an article about it. Okay. Israeli settler group offers new properties in southern Lebanon. Who are these people? After eliminating the leaders of Hezbollah, do you also dream of having a big house with a view of snow-capped mountains and a warm community in the land of our ancestors? They emerged in March. Oh, I tweeted about these guys. They have protests. There's like 10 of them protesting. So this is their website. Wow. And this is the thing. It's time for a house in Lebanon. Bro, good luck. Good luck with these guys. So wait, why is Stephen laughing that she said my village? Because she was born in Michigan. She might have family there. Would you say my? I mean, if I was, Like if it was my grandmother's fucking village, I'd probably just say my grandmother's village. I wouldn't say mine. But do these guys not care how they make Israelis look? Yeah, they think they make Israel look fucking based and settler pilled. Probably is what they think. Yeah, they want to settle. Yeah, because they're like these people do exist. They just don't have any power. So how did Hassan describe that clip?
Actually accelerating its own demise. It's Ensieg. My village, which has already been bombed, is in South Lebanon, and it leaves me in awe that while my family is displaced, they're advertising our land. Yeah, it's really fucked up that Frogan is being anti-Semitic again.
He just read the tweet. Okay, whatever. No power besides the settlements they live in and expand. The people who want to settle Lebanon. What settlements are in Lebanon? I'm sorry, when I say settlers, talking about moving into fucking Lebanon, you think that equates to people who are in the West Bank? There are people all over the Israeli government who want to settle in the West Bank. Give them a year lull. Can you give me? I need to start betting money. I need to start betting. Okay, I need to start betting like thousands of dollars with people who think South Lebanon is going to have fucking settlers moving into it within a year. How fucking retarded! Like, god damn it. Ugh. Cable, I want you to remember this moment. I want you to remember this moment in a year's time when you are looking like, when you just feel like, oh, wait, you know what? Maybe every broad impression I had about the Israel-Palestine Middle East conflict, maybe it was all bullshit. Maybe I was just kind of like, didn't really know how anything fucking worked in that region. Didn't really know any of the history. Didn't really know what the fuck's going on now. I just assumed that there was a good chance that Israel was going to fucking settle South Lebanon within a year of attacking Hezbollah there. Now I want to know. They had settlers in the Sinai, about 5,000 of them. They were evacuated when they gave it back to Egypt. How many settlers were in Lebanon between 82 and 2000? How many Israeli settlers moved into Lebanon in 18 years? I don't actually know the number. When I read about the evacuation in 2000, I don't actually read about settlers being pulled out. 5,000 in Sinai, 400 KIA. Wait, you're talking about soldiers. Who was trying to settle the Sinai? 5,000 people. The SLA, they went to Israel, but they were local. They weren't Israelis. I don't recall there being an evacuation of settlers in 2000. They didn't stay because they would die. I don't think there were. Were there any? I don't think there were, unless there's some fucking niche cult that tried to, against the IDF's wishes, set up a fucking shop in South Lebanon. The UN recognized their withdrawal in 2000. They didn't mention settlers. Hey, P. Nasty, thanks for 200 rupees. I'm a noob. What makes you so confident? Is it that there's no US support for this? Plus, it would be going from very few to none to some, which is different from the West Bank, i.e. from some to more. I just don't think there's ever been any will expressed from the overwhelming majority of the Israeli regime, even across history, to settle South Lebanon. Wait, who is it that was like, oh, give them a year? I know what I'm talking about. Who's that? Who the fuck was that? Were there really no settlers in Lebanon? I thought there might have been like a few hundred. Would it change your mind at all that Israel occupied South Lebanon for 18 years and no settlers moved in? What the fuck? There were hundreds of Jews pre-48. Yeah, I know a bunch of Jews also got murdered and chased out during the Civil War. I know that. Do you think a stronger Lebanese state could help the situation? A Lebanese state would help the situation. Yeah, if Lebanon was actually a state, like just one country, one state, that would be cool. One military, that'd be fucking banger. Wow. It's the bare minimum you expect from a country. Yeah, sorry, Cable Tar. Does that change your opinion on anything? Does that like humble you even like one fucking inch that hang on. This person about to tell is this about a Lebanese settler coming in. Hello. Ambivilex.
Hi. I'm just caught up from that Reddit post that you read with the military expert extraordinaire.
Yeah.
So the James, what is it called? The James Martin Center it's part of the Middlebury College. It's a liberal arts college. One of the lead guys there runs like one of the most premier like liberal arms control blogs called the Arms Control Law blog, and I've been part of that community for several years. So like, I've been steeped in that missile defense and stuff for a long time. So it's really funny that has no idea, accusing you of not having expertise or not knowing the expertise, but these are the experts that like almost all of the media goes to actually evaluate open source evidence. They run open source classes. They've teamed up with Bellingcat in the past. It's
Okay.
These people, like, these are the experts you should be referencing. They actually teach the classes that some government people and some military people who go to college for their military career teach them how to do like image analysis, how to take photographs, how to evaluate photographs to create models of missiles to evaluate the performance.
Mm-hmm.
So like a lot of the stuff with missiles is actually just pegged to normal physics. Like if you know the diameter of a missile and the length and you know the fuel, you can like model the performance of the missile pretty accurately. Not necessarily accuracy. But yeah, there's like a bunch of sayings that probably be useful to add in so that you can sound like an expert. So like one of the big things is apparently just in the Middle East, air forces are expensive to train and maintain. So they really like to use ballistic missiles in general. They like to buy them because you can just stick them on the shelf.
Okay.
And they have some kind of weird threat, but they're, as you heard, unguided ballistic missiles are just not very accurate. The phrases are like, you can target a military base with them, but you can't target a bridge. They are not accurate enough to like try to hit a bridge with. And you are talking in units of, from the most accurate to the least accurate. Football fields or soccer pitches or football pitches.
Mm-hmm.
And you really, you're really just, also this person hints at, there's a form of argument in this space where whenever you're trying to evaluate the accuracy or the effectiveness of a country's weapons, you accuse someone of racism, of not believing that they can build stuff correctly. And that happens. But you actually have to like go through the analysis. And I mean, even the best unguided ballistic missiles, you're not getting more than circular error probability of like 5 football fields. That's just, you're not getting any more than that. There's weather and there's all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Though I will say with the dumb bomb stuff, what matters a lot is like dive bombing versus lofting and also altitude.
Okay.
And that's going to depend on how much risk Israel wants to put on their aircraft. Like, no matter how good the aircraft is, if they're at 20,000 feet and they're dropping a bomb, because you don't know the weather all the way down and the different wind shift changes, you're just not going to get more accurate, I've been reading, than a couple hundred feet. Now, if you're dive bombing, you're lower altitude, that's better, but you're also more at risk of other things going wrong and being, shot at with small arms fire eventually once you get low enough and slow enough. So, there's a big set of trade-offs. So it not only depends on the technology, it depends on the height, depends on is your aircraft pitched up or down, how much risk you're putting your aircraft in, and all that stuff. But yeah, it's really just interesting. How much like these guys, like the community that I'm in with these guys is we've had people like have their original research published in like newspapers and stuff. Like sometimes the discussions actually leave the group and end up, the person who made the argument, shows up in the news. So it's just really interesting, the expertise argument here. Anyway, that was mostly it.
It's a good story. You should write a Reddit
I
post
should
about
comment.
it.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. I appreciate I mean, I just thought it was quoting APs. That's probably fine. That's all I went with. I just thought I trust someone else to source out the experts on this than me, because I don't know dick about weapons organizations.
Well,
but
you chose the right one. But also, there's another thing to keep in mind is the Iron Dome is only good for like very short distance fire. Now, some people are using the term Iron Dome like Kleenex. Does it refer to the specific system or the whole specific layers? But please don't do that.
Because the more relevant one here would be like Arrow 3 or whatever the fuck it's called, right?
Yeah, Arrow 3 and David Sling. And the reason that has, like, with ballistic missiles, distance equals speed. Because, like, you're physically constricted by the physics. Like, when you're further away, the missile goes higher up. So it's going faster when it comes down, because however fast it goes up, it comes down because of, conservation of energy. So, yeah. So you can't really shoot down anything. You can't shoot down a short range or medium range ballistic missile with Iron Dome. You have to use Arrow 3 or David Sling or something like that. And we have our own missiles. Apparently, we also fired from the sea. We fired some SM3s. And one thing to watch out for is we're not going to be able to calculate the accuracy from what made it through and what didn't, because Israel's missile defense prioritizes targets. Even though Iron Dome does this, that, where it'll prioritize stuff that's hitting populated areas and valuable military areas. But I'm pretty sure they also do that with the Arrow 3 and stuff, because, I mean, I don't know what the cost of those interceptors are, but something that can reach and intercept outside of the atmosphere, you're talking like the tens to hundreds of $1 million per missile cost. So they really don't want to waste that on something that hits in the middle of the desert. So also these missiles, like for the U.S., we can only produce about one of a missile of that class size a month at our current rates. So I don't know what Israel's production capacity is, but we fired 12 SM-3 missiles, which have the exo-atmospheric interception. And that's literally a year's worth of production. So that's going to matter a lot for determining how accurate they are, because the more accurate it is, the more likely it is to get intercepted.
Okay.
So it's going to be very hard to try to calculate backwards from what hit and what didn't, because the stuff that would have hit probably got intercepted.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, that's pretty much it.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I appreciate the comments. All right.
Have a good day.
Take care. Bye-bye. Wait, did we get any comments on the settler project in Lebanon happening within a year? Is someone still committing to that? Where are they? Where'd they go? It's just low-hanging fruit. You did respond. What'd you say? Say it again. Give us your odds. Give us your percentages. If Israel does occupy southern Lebanon, then why not? Well, because they didn't last time. Is that what you said? What else did you say? It's fucking mental. It's like you can't even really, you can't solve any problems because you don't know what the problems are. If you're out here like, well, they're gonna settle this out in Lebanon, like, fucking hell. There's a good amount of Israeli casualties from Hezbollah ambushes yesterday. Yeah, I saw that. I saw 8 people died yesterday in, what was it, Marun al-Ras and another place? If settlers say they're going to settle, I'm going to take them at their word. I just don't trust that the Israeli state is going to let them, though. Yeah, but that's not the question. Yeah, obviously, if people try and the IDF kicks them out, that's like a okay. What? So some Israelis might try to commit crimes that the government and the military doesn't support. It's just a wonder though, because I mean, yesterday was actually probably the first sign that Hezbollah might still have a bit of their old fucking fight in them, because that was what they did in Marin al-Ras last time in 2006. The Israelis got bogged down. They might not even try though. They might just try to get permission from the government and fail. They might not even go. I don't know. I don't know if I trust these people to actually. If someone's crazy enough, the settlers are all celebrating today and tomorrow in anticipation of the new land in Lebanon they're colonizing. It's called Rush to Lebanon. You fucking crazy fuck, man. They're considered crazy by the West Bank settlers. Yeah, I know. It's surprising though. It's surprising that there were no settlers there in the 18 years of occupation, because I know it is technically it's
I'm
part of your
having
greater
trouble
Israel
with the
bullshit.
idea that Palestine existed while there were more than just Palestinians in the area. What am I missing here? Like, is there an official state or just a feeling?
Thanks for the $10, Lilith Crisis. I mean, the area depends on who it was. It was a region that was called Syria Palestina, I guess. It was referred to that by various rulers at various times. And the majority of the people there were Muslim Arab. So, for the Ottoman maps, well, it was like you had like the Sanjak of Nablus. You had the Mutesifarit, whatever the fuck it's called, of Jerusalem. What else was it? What are the other Sanjaks? Or whatever they're called. Beirut. Yeah, that's obviously not Palestine. There was Beirut, and although maybe some of it was. Nablus, Acre, and Jerusalem. Yeah. But that was in the 1840s they did that, right? Jerusalem was later on. 1872. Yeah. Fucking Ottomans. Blech. Okay. Whatever. I don't care about Ottoman history right now. No one cares. Hello, Moon Knight.
So, you were just talking about the Ottoman districts and such. I started listening midway through the conversation. What was the topic exactly? Like, what was the point being made?
Well, people were talking about how someone was saying that there's no such thing as Palestine or some bullshit. Yeah, I was like, it was called Palestina by the Romans. So, yeah. Although
Okay,
the
I
Ottomans had
can't
it in
hear you.
Sanjaks.
I can't hear you at all.
How about now? How about now?
Oh, I can now.
Oh, yeah. We were just talking about what the Palestine area was called under the Ottomans. I was kind of where that came from.
Yeah, so what was the thing about the districts?
What's now Palestine used to be at different stages. It was
Sanjak
like
Nablus was sort of the
Acre,
Quds.
Nablus, Jerusalem, right?
Yeah, so what was the point being made there?
Oh, there wasn't really a point. It started because someone said there's no such thing as Palestine historically. And I was like, that's not really the right way to look at it. And then people were asking about the Ottomans. So we just went to what it was called by the Ottomans.
Yeah, so about that, like in every historical text from the time I'm speaking about, from the 16th to the 19th century, and also, as we all know, to the 20th century, the region was referred to as Palestine, by the Ottomans themselves in every map, basically in every piece of text from the time. However, the districts in themselves, they varied from time to time. So, for example, the one you spoke of, the one that had Acre, Nablus, and sort of Jerusalem.
Yeah.
That one was specific after the distribution, I believe, of... I don't remember. It could be 1862 or 1858. I'm not certain about it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
1800s, yeah.
that was specifically made to make Lebanon not be a Maronite or a Christian majority state. So, like, they added basically North of Palestine to change the demographics of the Lebanese districts.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was fluid. But before that, it was referred to in under the Mamluks, under the Ayyubids, under the Umayyads, and the Abbasids, and the Fatimids as Jund Palestine, the district itself. And also there were titles as the Sheikh of Palestine, or And those, like, for example, Zahir al-Umar was officially recognized by the Ottomans as being the governor and, like, basically the sheikh of the Palestine region of the time. He basically had an independent state of his own, but under its name, it still was part of the Ottoman Empire, similar to how Egypt was under Muhammad Ali Pasha, who actually had a war with the Ottomans and invaded them, but officially he was still part of the Ottoman Empire. So it can be a bit messy here when you talk about the history of the region.
Yeah. Where do you have those maps from? Do you have any pictures of those maps that actually has Palestine written on it from the old ones?
Yeah, I can. There's a famous one by, I forgot what was his name, a Turkish dude. No, he was Albanian.
Oh, is it this one? Is this from 1804? Printed Ottoman map, 1804. And it's because it includes a lot of fucking Jordan and Syria, right? Is that it?
Can you show it in the screen?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it says Ard Flastan. It's in Ottoman Turkish, so it used the Arabic script. Yeah, in the south it says Ard Flastan, basically land of Palestine. But in the north it says Barsham. I don't know. I don't know what it means. Sham means the Levant. So yeah. This one is the most famous map, I believe, but there are others.
Huh.
And keep in mind that for a long time, the exact borders of what would be Palestine wasn't exactly well defined. So, for example, the region in the basically east of the Jordan, it was not really controlled by the Ottomans as other regions because they couldn't impose taxation and conscription or anything. They could only really have the right of passage through it. So it basically was one of the original founding myths of the Arab Revolt and everything in 1905. They tried to impose taxation on the region, and there was a huge revolt, and another one in 1910. And it was the origin of the Arab Revolt. Basically, many of the tribes of the region got real fucking pissed, and eventually, in 1917, invaded Aqaba, which caused basically the entire Southern Front to open up, and it was a major cause of the Ottoman collapse.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So what language would I detect on Google Translate to find out is this like old? It's like an old Turkish, or is this just normal Turkish Arabic, or I don't know.
It's like an old Turkish Ottoman Arabic. Like Turkish today is very different. It uses the Latin script. It also got they had a policy where they got rid of much of the words that originated from Arabic or Persian or Kurdish, make it like a pure Turkish language and everything. So it's very much different nowadays.
Yeah, because I think the only thing I'm getting here when I put it in Google
what we are reading
Translate
here is
like
closer to Persian than Arabic or Turkish.
Yeah, because I don't know a lot of those letters. Here it says Arab Desert on Google Translate, but I don't even know what language is claiming to get it from.
Yeah, Badit al-Arab, the Arabian Desert.
That's what it says here?
Yeah.
Where does it say Palestine?
To the slightly to the left.
This one?
Like the bigger word.
This one? Or this one?
Yeah, that one.
The low one?
Yeah.
Okay.
This one.
That says Ab Palestine.
Ard Palestine, but I'm not sure about how the Ottomans pronounced it. So, like, if I pronounce it in Arabic as it was supposed to be pronounced in the Arabic script, it would be Palestine, but we said Palestine. So I don't know. Maybe they had a different pronunciation, or they had different grammars for the language.
Okay.
Okay, some dude is saying Jake Bradshaw in the comments saying Badia means villages. I don't know who the fuck told him that. It doesn't have a literal meaning. It means the place of origin, but no, it's specifically desert. As far as I can tell, most people have like a special. There are those special niche translators who specialize in old Ottoman documents, and nobody else can read it but them. But perhaps there has been something that can actually translate it. I don't know.
Okay. Because this thing I'm looking at here, this just looks like, no, it's not. It's not. This is actually different. These are similar. These are Arabic letters but some of them are different because instead of it's like a thing with 3 dots underneath it for pa. P. Okay.
Yeah, it's closer to Persian, really.
Huh. So this would be this is still an aleph, right? Still a. And this one here is what letter do you say for this? D, right? Da. Dal.
Yeah. There's alif, then ra, then da.
Okay. And then this is the would this be the fa? Or because it's got the dot above it. Yeah, it is. Yeah, fa.
That's da. Da.
Okay, and then it goes a fucking massive. This is all part of the fa. That's just a huge F.
Yeah. It's da, and it's all part of it. Yeah.
Da. And then this is fa, right? Fa.
Yeah. This is
Fala.
fa.
Oh yeah, fala. Okay, I see it. Fala. Oh yeah, there it is. Hey. Yeah, I see it. With the nun at the end. Okay. So this is Art Palestine. ARD. Art Palestine. Okay. Haha. Got it. Okay. Nice. Cool.
There's, also in Hebrew, it's actually, I think, the same word, like Eretz or Ard. I found it weird.
Palestine. Okay.
XVCT. Okay, Sahara is desert and so is Badia.
Wow.
For fuck's sake, I should. You know, I studied Arabic for 12 years. I read basically every single fucking classic Abbasid poem that nobody ever knew about. And this retard here starts telling me that the most common word that people think is fucking romantic in Arabic has actually different meaning.
That's crazy, chap. Okay. Anything else?
Okay, just a second. I need you to show this for every fucking retard here saying I'm DMing you it.
Okay.
I'm so fucking frustrated.
Okay, what am I looking at?
This is the word Badia, which everyone thinks I had the wrong meaning for.
Okay.
Fuck them.
Wow.
It's desert. Nowhere does it mean village. And also, yes, there are like 20 or 30 or fucking 100 different meaning for desert in Arabic. Yeah.
I wonder why Arabs have so many words for desert, eh? It's like how
Yeah.
Inuits have a million words for snow.
Okay, so also I need my parents back, please.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, Sev is here.
Listen, I'm a language nerd, and what you just said, I actually did a paper on. That is a false claim about like Eskimos or like have a million words.
Yeah,
for
I
snow.
know. It's like they have like about as many as we do, right? Like a few more, like 30
have-
something.
Yeah, they have just as much. It's just like they count all Eskimos as the one group of people, even though there's like several languages, and they just count
Oh,
from
that's
each
what
language.
they do. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they just group them up all in one group and said because they all live in the snow, and they're like, oh, these people are all one group of people, and they have a million words for snow, even though it's like several different languages.
Well, did they not tell you to say Inuit? Because I thought
No.
the other word's racist. and
Because is Eskimo racist?
probably only in white country. Yeah.
I've never heard that. That's
I don't know if it's something that
word.
they care about or if it's just like one of those like Latinx things that yeah. I don't know.
I've never heard that it's racist. I don't know if it is. What is the other word? Inuit?
Yeah,
Inuit?
Inuit. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I've never heard that it's racist.
Okay.
They used, the racist one when we were doing our research.
Cool. Okay.
Chat. Anyway, chat. Yeah, that's what I wanted to correct you on. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. You're good.
Yeah, that's it. I'm fucking off. Thanks for listening, everyone.
That's all right. Take care. Bye. Okay. Anna Kasparian's left to left. Okay. That's crazy, chat.